Alright, hello guys, and welcome to the dojo. I hope you hear me well. And if you do, please state that in the chat. Yes, alright, so the stream should be low latency, so I should be able to respond quickly. Cool, let's begin. Thank you all for being here. I was expecting 10 people at max 20, but we are now getting to the 80. I am peaking. Okay. That's bad. Okay. How about now? Okay, I am going to talk. How about now? Better. Okay, cool. Too low. I can adjust a little bit more. Okay, thank you. Quick feedback. Cool. Alright, so I can do a little bit louder. Cool. Alright. So, as I was saying, welcome to this workshop. I'm really happy to be here with you. This is planned to be around 2 hours. Yes, and I am peaking again. Okay. Glad that we tested this before and it was good. Trying to adjust the mic. How about now? RIP. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. We should begin shortly. Alright, so how about now? Am I peaking? Alright. Cool. So I should keep this still there a little bit. Not sure if I can. It's all good. Alright, so I will begin with this. If I am peaking, then say so. Sorry about that. A little bit of trouble. Yeah, alright. If I'm not talking to it too closely, then it should be good. Alright, so welcome to the Dojo workshop, and let's just begin with our little presentation here. So, we are going to spend 2 hours together, and we are going to try to see what is going on with competitive gaming, how you can get into a team, what do you need to do to apply, how do you play the trials, is it good for you to be in a team, and stuff like that. So that is what is planned. I am here with you, and there is also Nathaniel and Town. I'm going to try to not peak so hard, if I can do something about it. About now. Okay, so Nathaniel and Tone are in the chat. They are going to help me, and we are the Overwatchdojo team. I am just using a USB mic for no effects whatsoever, so I don't know why is it peaking so bad. We tested it before the stream and it was alright. Okay, I shouldn't get too excited and loud. Okay, alright. So, we are the dojo here, and if you are not familiar with our Discord, make sure that you join the Discord server. We have challenges for weeks, we have monthly challenges for improvement, and we also have free community support for anyone who wants to improve there. And it is really good. And also, if you want to support the channel and get coached by us, you can join our Patreon. And let me introduce myself, because we have yet to reveal our faces, but I am Alien T-Vent, and I am one of the first of the team of the Overwatchdojo. I have been gaming from the age of 13. And I am a competitive gamer for 14 plus years now, and that's a lot, actually. Mostly played FPS titles, Call of Duty series, not into Counter-Strike that much, Team Fortress 2 with offline and online tournament experience, and I am and I am a casual MOBA and RTS player. Yeah, you can hear some blowing, sorry about that. Okay, my top rank was top 700 EU when I had time to actually play, and now I am not doing that much solo queuing. So I know my stuff, and I have experience in teaching and university education, mostly math and programming, but some other skills as well. So that's about me. And what we are going to do, this is a short agenda here. We're going to talk about the Birdseye view of the competitive gaming. And there will be a VOD after we finish. So if you cannot follow it, then you should be able to see it after the stream ends. We are going to talk about what the competitive team is, how to apply it, how to get into it, playing in a team, and some questions after it. And what you need to know about this is a first time thing for me as well. I am familiar with offline workshops, and it is a little bit easier there. And I'm trying not to talk that loudly, not to peak. Sorry about that. So this workshop here needs you to be active and to cooperate with me. In the beginning, we are going to do this with the chat on the live stream, but there will be a point where I will ask you to join me on Discord, and we should have a little chit chat. So I am asking you, what is your current rank? And please type it in the chat just so we know. This should be interesting, because a lot of people think that competitive gaming and getting into an actual team is only for Diamond and Master and Grandmaster, but that is not real. I'm telling you, that is not real. You can get into a team if you are a silver, if you are a gold, it doesn't really matter, but you can improve a lot even if you are just playing with your bronze friends, because for someone it is just for fun, for others it is real competition and for the experience and for the chills of competitive gaming, but you can do it with any rank. Alright, so, and I'm really interested if you have any experience before this. So if you have been in a team before in any game, played competitively, played any tournaments or cups, it is interesting for me, because I will see what you did, I will see where did you come from, and we are quite numerous here, so I'm trying to keep up with the chat, and I see a lot of no, nope, some yeses, that's good, okay. And the ranks are quite different, so I mostly see no's, League of Legends, and I have seen a lot of 2,000 to 3,000 ranks, so that is what we are working here with. Alright, cool, thank you guys. So, thank you for being active. And let's just straight get into the first topic. What is a competitive team? And we should dive into discussion about tiers first, because I think it is important to describe different tiers, so you get a general idea about what kind of teams there are in Overwatch. So tier 5 is referred to as amateur or fun teams, and they are just getting together, and that is not Tracer, that is a kid, we called him. When we began Overwatchdojo, we had some graphics, and he is part of that kit. So tier 5 is amateur or fun teams who are just getting together, be a bit softer, okay. So who are just getting together to have fun together, not really paying a lot of attention to improvement, not paying a lot of attention to being on schedule and participating in competitions and stuff like that. The tier 4 is dedicated fun teams, I like to call, who are getting together but usually have a schedule. Usually they work with what they have. They are setting their mind to improve, but they are not allocating a lot of resources. They are there for the fun. Tier 5 and Tier 4 teams usually play in soloQ together, so as a stack of 6. Whereas if we continue to tier 3, these are the teams that are being dedicated. These are the competitive teams I like to refer to, the amateur gamers who want to get there, who want to stick together, who do a lot of things to improve their game, a lot of things to improve their team play as well as solo ranks. And they are usually not only playing in soloQ together, but rather play scrims together. And they are participating in competitions, online cups, offline tourneys, and stuff like that. Tier 2 is referred as comp teams with good results who won online tournaments, cups, and LANs, and these are the teams who you should be familiar with already. These are the teams who are able to win cups in their national tournaments and win online challenges and stuff like that. So there's actually money, a little bit of money involved in this tier. And the top tier is what is everyone is familiar with, the OVL teams. They are who are being hired and paid just to be the gamers. Alright, so I have been in a tier 3 team at the top. Have been winning some competitions, and I can tell you that that's the most interesting thing in the world, to pack your PC and just to go to an offline event and meet with other gamers. It is really good. It was back when I was playing Call of Duty 2, but I am doing this workshop, and we are doing this workshop because we believe that the experience that you can gain from playing competitively and playing in a team is a lot different than your solo queue experience. So let's just continue with discussing the roles in a comp team. And now we are just discussing things. I will try to get over this quickly to begin the activities and other things that you can participate in. So it's important to talk about the roles in comp teams because you see that in a solo queue environment there are 6 players and that's all. Everyone picks their main class and plays a DPS or has some mains and maybe flexes to some other positions. But when you are playing in a 6 stack, people are usually picking a single hero or a hero class, more like, and they are dedicating themselves to improve with that, and they are playing that again and again. And this doesn't mean that they are not changing McCree, for example, if they are playing that. But it means that if you are a hitscan main, for example, you are playing McCree, you are playing Soldier, you are able to play Tracer, but you can also be a projectile DPS player or a dive tank player or anything like that. So this is how the main roster is divided. And then there are subs if needed. There are teams where the amount of players are not 6, but there are some subs in case they need somebody to swap or if they can't go to an event and stuff like that. So apart from that, among these 6 players there is a dedicated in-game leader, and this needs a little bit of explanation because in a solo queue environment there is no leading and there are random players trying to play together. But when you are playing in a team, it is really important to stick together and to act as a team, and this is facilitated by an in-game leader who decides what to do, when to attack, what ultimates to use and stuff like that. So when you are playing in a team like this, it is vital to have somebody among the players for the role of the in-game leader who is taking charge and who is figuring out what to do in what situation. And it can be really hard for this player to actually pay attention to the game and to lead a team as well. And this role is usually taken by one of the supports. A lot of high tier teams have an in-game leader as Lucio or one of the supports because they can see what is going on with the whole team and they should be able to lead the team without paying too much attention to getting picks and stuff like that. And the other role that is important is the shot caller, and the shot caller's role is the one who is picking targets while they are engaging. So let's say that there is a team who is getting the attack side on King's Row. And the in-game leader says that, okay, we are going to run with a dive here and push in as quickly as possible, trying to get to the point. After getting to the point, the shot caller takes the lead and just calls who to kill and who to focus first. Shot callers are usually can be the same as the in-game leaders, but can be separate roles. So let's say there's a Winston, for example, who is diving a lot. Shot caller can be that Winston because he is close to the enemy team. And yeah, usually when you just listen into the communications of a team who has an in-game leader and a shot caller, the in-game leader is the one talking before the engagement actually happens, and the shot caller is taking the role when the first jump happens to the enemy team and the teams get together and the teams start fighting. So you will hear like, okay, we are going in 3, 2, 1, go, and then the shot caller starts going with, okay, focus like McCree, and then when the McCree goes down, he goes to Anna, and they wipe the enemy team, possibly, and then go on. So this is for imagining what is happening in the communications. And usually players are only calling vital information and let the in-game leader and the shot caller do the talking. And with more organized comp teams, there are support personnel as well, analysts usually, who are taking matches apart and trying to figure out what went wrong for the given team. And these analysts can be found even on lower levels, so there are a lot of people who would like to do this for free, and tier 3 teams can have analysts as well as coaches. Coaches are the ones who are helping the teams figuring out strategies, preparing against other teams on online tournaments and competitions, and making sure that the players are improving personally. There are usually cameramen involved up from tier 3, so if you want to make sure that your matches are recorded well, you need someone to do that, and that is the cameraman job. And there can be other organizers and business personnel if the team is getting sponsored, for example, and stuff like that. But this is how a comp team looks like usually. And if you have any questions, make sure to ask it. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. So what are the goals and what are the achievements that you can go for as a comp team? So when you are playing for fun, you are there for the people usually. You want to make friends, you want to be there, you want to experience a game on a whole new level where teamwork is actually part of your everyday game. And yeah, I'm trying not to raise my voice, sorry about that, getting excited here. So these teams are playing together for fun, but some players are not there for fun as much as for fame. And they have a lot of opportunities to shine, they have a lot of opportunities to play together and even to win different sums of money. So like there are competitions online every weekend that you can attend to with no regards to team rank and stuff like that. You can just join for free and take away like €100 or $100 on the NA and do that, and you also have a chance to get better and better and to get support from sponsors, to get business personnel on the team and do stuff like that. These tournaments can be found on online websites usually, and on Reddit and different Discords, and can be there for mostly for PC, but there are more and more competitions for consoles as well. So let's continue with the next one. I am going to post the links to these websites after the session is done, and you should be able to check them. Battlefly is one of the biggest ones, but there are another few ones what you can check if you have a team. All right, so let's continue. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But the next one is how to apply to a team. And I think this can be the most interesting part of the workshop, and this is where we will get our hands dirty. So applying to a team and finding a team can be something that is shady. Where on earth can you find a team where you can join and get together and play? And we are going to try to answer that question. But before that, you should know that you have some pre-requirements. Yeah, this is a Prezi. And thank you for the compliments for the slideshow. So the pre-requirements: you will need to get a good hardware to play with, and not just your PC or console or stuff like that, but you will need a good headset, what you can use to talk with your buddies, and a microphone, of course. So that is required. You need time to do it, because if you are playing in a fun team, or if you are playing in a dedicated competitive team, you will need to allocate a lot of time to be able to just get together and improve. Because if you are just getting together with friends, you still want to be able to set yourself free for a few evenings per week. And if you are in a tier 3 or above team, it is really usual to have like 3 to 4 hour practice sessions every day. So when I was a teenager, in my I think I was 14 years old when I was doing this, I was getting home from school and then I was playing until late night in Call of Duty, because we were preparing for events, we were preparing for LAN competitions, and this needs a lot of time in order to improve, because when you are playing in a team, it is really hard, because there are 5 other people you need to work with, and it needs a lot of time to prepare, and you need to have some kind of experience. So most of you said that, yeah, I'm picking on center words, sorry about that. Most of you said that you are around rank 2000 to 3000, so you already have the experience to join a team, I believe. It's just here to make sure that if you don't know the maps, for example, if you don't know basic mechanics in the game, competitive gaming and joining a team may be not for you yet. But if you are ranked in, and if you experience the game for like 10 to 20 hours, you can actually get into a team that is fitting for you. Alright, and what goes into choosing a team? And it is something that you need to decide, because you need to decide what is more important to you. Is it fun or is it competition? Because when you are joining a team, you are not just joining random 5 who you play with, but you are there to maybe make friends. You are there to improve, but you will need to sacrifice time in order to do that. You may need to attend to competitions. You need to decide if you want to join a national team or an international one, because it can be really different. If you don't speak English that well, it can create a barrier that it's hard to... Sorry. So if you don't speak the the common language that well, it can be hard to work together with a team. So sometimes it is more beneficial to join a national team, for example. But if you dedicate a lot of time and if you set yourself to it, and the team is actually good and doing well and the team survives the usual hard times that people have when they are spending a lot of time together, you can actually start getting money for playing, you can start getting famous, you can start playing seriously. But I think the most important thing here is having fun and experiencing the game on a very different level. So you need to figure these things out. And now we are going to start creating a gamer CV. And this is our first interactive part of this workshop. So I will ask you to open a new text document or grab a pen and paper. I will post a link with the gamer CV example that we have. And we are going to create this together. So what is a gamer CV and why do we need to have one? Because for one, it will help you think about your commitments, think about your availability, think about your previous experiences and skills and stuff like that. All that is required later if you want to join a team or if you want to create a team of your own. And what is written here is all going to be compiled into a single document, and you can send this if you want to apply to a team. So I'm posting the link and trying to swap the screen so you can actually see it. Yeah, it should be visible. So you're able to view it. Please, if you want to use this template, you can use yours, but for easiness, it is here. You should click the file, make a copy, and make a copy for yourself. It is written here on the top as well. Don't use my credentials because that won't get you in a team. You need yours. All right, so this is how it looks like. It is really colorful, but that was the intention because you need to stand out from the crowd a little bit. And let's just go over what can be seen here. And I ask you to do this with me because that's how it will be done. I experienced that in these workshops it is really important for you to keep up with what we are doing and to actually do it, because you won't do it, from my experience at least, that people won't do it after the session. They will just think about it. So come here, file, make a copy, rename it, save it to your storage. And I see that there are 20 people already here. And then start inputting your data. And while I am going through, you can just input your data. So the first one is your name. You can give your real name. I am Hungarian and this is my name. We have these fancy characters. I am Nádai Levente and my nickname is Alien T-Vend. And I am 26 years old. You can see it here. It can be important in some teams to state your age, because sometimes they don't want to play with too old people, they don't want to play with too young people. It's their decisions. You are better off stating it clearly. And I am from Hungary, Budapest, and I am in Central European time zone. This is also important because in order to have a good schedule with different people in a team, it is beneficial if you are near your time zone, if you are near each other's time zone. So if you are an A, you can have yours there. There's my email address, you can see it. There's my Discord tag. These are public, but it is important to indicate that there you can also put your Battle.net ID if you want to do that. I am more active with email. I am online on Discord all the time, so I am using these. So just input yours. These are the general things that you need to know about anyone who you want to get in touch with. After this, we are getting into the game specific things. So your current SR is important because they will be able to see your current SR and max SR. The max is more important usually, but some teams are filtering the applicants based on their current SR. So have that there. That can be important. Spoken languages, English, Hungarian. It can be important because sometimes you figure out that you are all speaking the same language that is not English, but you have a national team that wanted to go international but made it to be national. It can be there to make sure that they know what they are dealing with. And active times is really important to think about. And I wrote that I am from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. available every time, but you can write here that you are not available on Saturdays and stuff like that. It is one of the most important things in this CV to have this figured out and to actually give it some thought, because if there's a team who wants to get really competitive, they may need 2 to 3 hours every day for you to be there with them, to practice with them. So make sure that you are figuring this out, and make sure that you are not going too hardcore with this, because you will still need to spend time with your family and your friends and stuff like that. So this is really important to think about. All right, then we are going to talk about the actual in-game experience, heroes played, and the main class. So I have been a tank player when I started Overwatch, but I switched to hitscan DPS because my team, who I worked with, needed hitscan DPS players, and I have roughly these hours on these 3 characters. I have been playing a lot in scrims that the game didn't track, so I wrote it there that mostly played scrims, comp time does not show hero usage well. This is the part where you should list your main characters. You may not need to actually write the hours there, it's not that important, it just indicates you how much experience you have with different characters. So these are Mercury, Tracer and Soldier for me. These are the ones who I am really experienced with. I think rookie numbers from Jory, okay? And I can say that I can flex into off-tank DPS. You should figure out what you want to play. These can be adjusted when you get into a team, but it is a good practice to actually think about these before you apply to a team to decide what you want to play. Here are the previous competitive experiences of mine, and any special additional information about me regarding Overwatch and regarding any kind of team play. So if you have online esport experience, you can list it here. If you had scrims, okay, what is scrims? Scrims are the matches that are played between teams who are not playing ranked. The 2 teams search for each other, and then they decide they want to play a match that has no real result, so it's not a tournament or anything. They just want to play with each other, and this is what we call scrims. All right, so back to this section, previous comp experience. I have been playing a lot of games. You can see it. You can list your achievements, and I would say that you need to list any relevant competitive experience. So if you have been an athlete, for example, it can be really interesting, because if you want to get serious about esports and not just playing for fun, then it can be a good thing to list that I won a national running competition, because it shows how dedicated you can be. And sometimes this is what organizers of teams are looking for. Yeah, I have a lot of Call of Duty experience. I have been playing a lot. Okay, so and I also listed some casual things here, anything that can be interesting about you, really. And to the last section, additional information. I have shot caller experience. I have in-game leader experience. I have been coaching personal and on a team level from 2016 December, and I actually have a ready-to-use strategy book for different maps and comps. This can buy me into a team, I think. So any additional information that you think is important, you can post it here. And if you are ready with your CV, I would like to showcase some. So if you want to share it, then you can post a link in the chat and I will open it up here. So this is it, basically. And this should help you to figure out what you are looking for, to figure out your availability. This is, as I said, one of the most important things here, and also deciding what you want to play in a comp team. So you can, of course, have any additional things listed here. It's just really important to actually finish this CV, so you have it wrapped up. All right, can post links to the chat. Okay, all right, I will post a Discord link in a sec. that you can join, that I created just for this workshop, not to spam the Overwatchdojo Discord. I got it down. So you can join this Discord and you can share your links here. We are going to have some talks as well, so it is not too bad to join it if you want to get into chatting a little bit later. So I am waiting for some links. Until that, if you have any questions regarding your CV, you can post it here on the chat. And I'm switching back to the presentation. So yeah, and this is if you want to edit the CV, again, I'm showing you in a sec. You need to go to File and make a copy, and this will create a copy for yourself. Played hero times can be, well, I usually recommend scrim experience and competitive experience, but if you are playing them a lot in quick play or arcade or custom game modes, like I used to play a lot of Widowmaker in custom games, you can list that as well. It is really not a format that is something that should be followed. This is here for being an example of how you can compile a gamer CV easily. Alright, checking the Discord. So I got one right here, and I make sure that if you share the document, you give view permissions. I got one from Sideways Cup on Discord, but I need permissions in order to check that. So let's get back to the presentation. Yeah, of course you can use fake names if you don't want to share your real name. Alright, it should be good right now. So thank you for sharing it, and let's see. Okay, so we have someone here. Oh yeah, and I didn't talk about the logo. So this is this is a logo of mine. I think it adds something into the CV to have it. In a real curriculum vitae, you usually include your own image of a headshot or something. If you have any image that you want to have here, then you can replace it. And you can share it via going to share, and this will here you can set that and copy the link and post it to the Discord. Okay, so you have the current SR, max SR, spoken language is English. You have a really good active time, so that should be alright. Genji, Hanzo, Junkrat can flex into other hit scan heroes, and also Monkey Roadhog. So I think that's good, looking good so far. And you don't have any previous competitive experience, but that's alright, because there are teams out there who are looking for new players to get together with. So looking quite good. Yeah, and I can see what you are typing there right now. Cool, looking good. And yeah, as I mentioned, the active times are actually, and the heroes, the most important thing that you need to think about. So anybody else wanting to share their CV? Because if not, then we can just go to the next section. So basically this is it. This is how you should compile your CV. And another thing, that CV is curriculum vitae. It's used in the business world to refer to the document that you send to the businesses where you want to apply. All right. Yeah, and one other thing is that you actually can take a screenshot of this one and post it with your looking for group post later that we are going to talk about. I will show you how to do that, because this should set you out from the crowd. All right, yeah, it's like a resume. Checking the Discord again, we don't have any more links, so I'm going back to Permissions you can give by, let me just go back to this one, share, and so top right hand corner, share, and you can set anyone with a link can view, and then copy the link and paste it on the Discord. 3, 2, 1, waiting for the link. Okay, we are continuing then. Let me change the scenes back to where it was, to the presentation. Alright, so this is the gamer CV that we created that you will be able to send to teams if you want to join a team, and this should make the process a lot more easier, and this should actually show the team that you are prepared and that you know what you are talking about. Okay, you can send any other CVs to the channel or on the Dojo Discord or to me privately. I will make sure to go over them and check them after the stream. So let's continue to the next one. Creating a looking for group or a looking for team ad. And using the stuff that we compiled together in the gamer CV, we are going to create a Discord ad to post in looking for group channels. And I am talking about Discord because I found that it is the most, it is the easiest channel to look for teams, because teams who are looking for players are really active there. So this is an example that I compiled together. I really like to distinguish my stuff in some short words. This is a too long didn't read version that I am looking for a group in EU, and I am a Hitska main. Yada yada yada. This is basically the short version of what we did in the gamer CV, and you can include your link there. So the way you shared it, that I showed, top right corner, copy, give view permissions, and you can post it on the Discord so everyone who is interested can see. And why it is important to have this, because I don't think I have the Discord ready for this, but I can show you that there are different channels. No, I won't be. But there are different channels on Discord and different servers where you can look for different skill groups, like fun teams and comp teams, what we just talked about in the tiers. And in order to post there, you need to compile yours together. And you can post these on the LFG groups, and I am going to give you some links in a second for these Discords where you can join and post your advert, if I can find it. Alright, looking for group links. These are compiled together, and there are also websites and Reddit things. Like this one. A bunch of links for you in the chat. Okay, spamming the chat like mad, but I am going to post this in the description of the video as well, so you will have an easier access to it. But if you want to join these Discords right now, you can do so. We are also having one of these looking for group, looking for team channels in the Dojo Discord, so you can post your stuff here. And also there are Discords for different Overwatch related channels, and you can post there as well. Okay. So, posting an ad is the first step to get into, trying to get into a team. There are two types of posts on these channels. One are the teams looking for players, and the others are players looking for teams. So if you are certain that you want to join a team, or you should, I mean, you don't really need to be certain to do that. You can just try it, and if you don't like it, then don't do it. But I recommend trying it. I recommend getting in touch with some others, getting some trials done, and what we are going to talk about shortly. And it should be a good experience. Okay, so back to the ad. Actually, when you are posting this one, you are looking for a team as a player, but sometimes there are teams who are advertising themselves, and you can just message the one who posted and send your gamer CV or whatever, and then the real fun begins, and that is getting into a team. So now that you have applied, now that you have your gamer CV ready, and now that you have a ad that you can post on a Discord or Reddit or whatever, the links are in the chat, and I am also going to post them in the description somehow. And we are also going to talk about setting up a team. But now we are going to talk about getting into a team first, because I found out that it is just better for the first experience to actually join an established team, but you can also try making your own if you want to do that. So what are the next steps? Waiting for responses. Waiting for responses posted on your ad, or if you message someone, is recommended to wait for a few responses to your ad and then see who responded and actually ask about the team, ask about anything that we discussed so far. So which tier do they think they belong to, how much do they play, what are the goals of the team. These are the most important things. You need to make sure that you can actually have a good idea about what the team does. Teams will get in contact and schedule a tryout match or two to see how you play. And this is the next step, because after you got in touch, the next step will usually be to get together with a team in order to talk with the team and to play together with them. These are usually joined, and they are doing this in the same time. And the tryout match is really just you hopping in with a team of 5 or a team of 4, depending on how many of your team are there. But usually a team of 6, maybe getting into a ranked match or maybe scheduling a scrim, and then you will have to join with your hero. Like I am playing McCree, so they are going to ask me to play the tryout with McCree to see how I do with that hero. Usually it will need you to swap, as you need to swap in other matches, but you should be able to showcase what you can do. And one of the most important things here is that you communicate well. You shouldn't make any hasty decisions, and you should also take your time to judge all the teams and decide which one is the best. But this will the most important thing is to leave you with options, so you can actually choose some really good teams where you want to belong to. And let's talk about playing trial matches. Teams will want to test your skills, because they are usually a group who just lost a player or recently got together and looking for the last one or the last few ones, and they are going to ask you to play your role with the full roster of the team. Maybe play with other tryouts, that can happen as well. Usually it's not recommended for teams to do this because it's easier to test you if you are playing with the whole team, but sometimes they do this. I had experience like this. And they may ask you to showcase any special talents. So if you said that you are a good shot caller, for example, then they might ask you to do the shot calling, and it can be really hard with random people, but you should try. You should give your best ability to them. If you stated that you are one of the best tracers in the world, then they will surely ask you to showcase your tracer skills. So make sure that you write true things in your CV and in your ad. And what to do before these tryouts. Make sure that you are prepared. Warm up before the tryouts, and I mean warm up physically and warm up in the game. So it doesn't hurt if you do some push-ups, some crouches, some, I don't know, air guitars, jumpings, whatever makes you pumped and hyped, because your performance can be better if you are physically ready. And you should also warm up in Overwatch, playing some headshots against bots or arcade games, whatever makes you warmed up. Okay, make sure to arrive early and have some small talk with the team before the trial. So as I said, the communication part of this is really, really important. You don't just need to play well, you need to play well with the team. And in order to do that, it is mostly about teamwork and communication. So in order to warm up for the communication part of this, if you arrive early and have some small talk with the team, basically about anything, you can get a little bit warmed up and it will be smoother for you to communicate during the game. And don't ever try to overperform, and don't ever try to show off some things, because if you really want to do this, if you want to do this long term and not just to try it out, you need to be real and you need to give your usual performance that can really vary between different sessions of games, but you should give what you can, but you shouldn't try to overperform and overstress yourself if you are playing a tryout, because it will show in your performance, it will show in your communication. You should really just be chill and give what you will give to the team. Alright, if you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the chat. I'm keeping an eye out for those questions. Alright, let's have discussion, because when we are doing a workshop offline, discussions are a really important part of it. So I will ask you, I will post a Discord link again, and I will ask you to join me on the Discord to actually have a little chat here on the live stream. So if you are not shy, join the general channel. I am doing it now, posting the link for you on Discord. So you can join here and hop into the general channel, and I will mute the music until someone joins me. I hope that you will join, Tone at least, or Nathaniel. I am not alone here. But I am going to up the Discord, so make sure to join me on the general. This is not on the Dojo channel, this is a separate channel, not to spam the Overwatchdojo Discord. So hop into the voice channel. I also try to share it here in the Discord. Okay, I have people joining me. Make sure that you allow your mics so I can actually hear something. And I'm going to mute myself on the Discord because you can hear me on the live. Alright, hello guys. Muting the microphones, of course. Come on, somebody say something. Nope. Not saying anything. Hello? Okay, now it seems like I can't hear. Okay. Again, the thing with the Discord is not going smooth any so. Talk! I can't hear you. I can hear the Discord beeping, but I can't hear you talking.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you now. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Hello.
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 Welcome. Is it also
Hello.
on the stream? I hope so.
We're all saying hello.
Alright, so let's talk about best practices and preparations before the trial match and how you should play. I'm really interested in your ideas because I was saying about some things about the physical activity. You guys can hear me like this, right? In the Discord.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I
believe so.
I really want to hear your ideas about this one. So what do you think are the best practices for preparing yourself for matches, even in solo queue? Or if you have any athletic experience where you are playing in a team, you can share it.
Okay. Well, personally, before a match, I don't know if people know about the game, but there's a game called OS, and I really find it a great way to warm up the muscle memory. Very nice. It kind of just helps me get into the right mindset, get into focus, and buckle down.
Yeah, that is a game where you need to use the mouse with the music. That's right.
Yeah, it's like a rhythm game, yeah. But it requires coordination and stuff. It's a great way to warm up.
Yeah, for warming up, I think that's great. Whatever works. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anybody else having some golden tips or silver bullets or anything that can help you?
I usually just play in the training range for a little bit after doing some exercises.
So do you do physical exercises?
Yeah, I do jumping jacks. I
Yeah.
do push-ups, stuff like that.
Okay. About that, it is really important not to do with dumbbells or stuff like that, because that can sometimes make you shaky. So I usually recommend to do body weight exercises and do it short. So you just need to get your heart to start beeping, and then it should be good.
All right, man.
Cool. Anybody else sharing some tips? Any tips?
On top of playing OS, just usually go into the practice range and do warm-ups through that as well. I usually go into quick play because I main tanks, and I practice my shot callings.
Okay.
I'll go in with a friend.
Cool. Yeah. You can also practice that. Communication is something that can be practiced as well in these. I mean, in quick play, people are usually not paying attention, but if you are dedicating yourself, sometimes they just follow you, and you can easily practice shot calling, for example. And if that makes the game go better, it's all the better for everyone.
Get focused. Yeah, I go in with a friend who I usually go into rank with, that I'm gonna duo with.
Yeah, that can help, of course, if you are playing together with someone to warm up together in a quick play. All right, anybody else with any tips?
Not really. I'm just mainly the stuff that's been said already. So.
Okay, cool.
Wait, have we talked about Aim Hero?
Aim Hero, no.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh. Yo,
okay.
Aim Hero is great. Aim Hero really helps your reflexes.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. You can set it up for different periods, and you can really well use it to warm up, and that's not in Overwatch. So if you want to get away from the game before you actually get into a game, then Aim Hero can be beneficial, and it is really good for flick training, for example, to make sure that you grease your flick muscles.
There's actually another program like that called Aimtastic. It's also on Steam. Check it out.
Aimtastic?
It's free, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, nice.
It actually has converters for other games too. Like if you put in your Overwatch sensitivity, you can get your CS:GO sensitivity, vice versa.
Sounds really good.
Do you know if it can do it between mice? Because sometimes one of my mice fails and I have to bring the other one out, but I never know if it's going to work.
That might be a software issue, my man.
Yeah. Maybe you want to pick up a new mouse.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we will make sure to compile these into a list, because there were some things I am not familiar with, and these are all really interesting. I think there is actually another software where you can set up different scenarios, but it is in early access right now.
Is it called FPS Aim Trainer by
Yeah,
any chance?
I think.
Oh yeah, I played.
I recommend that.
Yeah, it's good.
Heard of that? Let me check it out. Is it on Steam?
No,
Or
like
is
you
it-
have to send him like $10 in PayPal, and he sends you a link in Discord.
Yeah, that thing is good because you can set up different things. So there are basic maps that look like Overwatch maps, and you can give some kind of intelligence to the bots. So if you want to practice against tracers, for example, then this thing creates you a scenario where you can shoot tracers who are blinking around you. So it can be really good.
What was it called? FPS what?
FPS aim
FPS
trainer.
aim trainer. I'm looking for a link.
Yeah, you need to join the Discord of the guy who does it. All right. I think anyone else having any tips regarding best practices?
I mean, like when I was on my old team before we'd play scrims, we'd usually just go into a game of deathmatch and play our mains. We just sort of like take turns like doing 1v1s and seeing who could like do the best thing to sort of adapt to the situation, stuff like that.
Against each other in the team.
Yeah, and also sometimes we just go through maps, quickly recap our strats and stuff like that, just so we know what we're going to use.
Yeah, and that is also important to talk about. When you are already in a team, then it can be beneficial to practice together. So I have been coaching teams, and I was recommending the same thing for them, to do 1v1s in that match, or to have 3 versus 3s and just go against each other and see who wins, and practice like that, and make sure they are warmed up before the first match, because usually the first match of the teams are the worst, and then they get formed up as a team as well. And you can help that if you are making sure to practice a little bit before sessions.
I don't know if you read the chat, but somehow Z said, "Sorry, don't make it work here, but maybe don't play when you're tired or angry."
Yeah. It can be important. So when you schedule a trial, and this is a really good tip, that if you schedule a trial and you don't feel like you can give your usual thing, then make sure to ask for a reschedule, because you want to show your usual form to the team. So if you have a headache or if you are, I don't know, if you are down and stressed, it is okay to reschedule the trial. All right.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
How many hours of experience should I have on a certain hero or on the game overall to confidently join a team?
Well, I was saying in the beginning that I believe that if you have the basic knowledge of the game, like knowing the maps and knowing the heroes and abilities and ultimates and things like that, that's what you need to join a team, because in a team setting you can actually improve a lot. And you can't really compare it with soloQ, because the team aspect is a lot stronger, and you can set time just to improve a hero. So if you, I would say that if you have like 20 hours altogether, you can actually join a team. I have been coaching.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah,
I have been coaching some people who play in teams, who joined teams very early in the game.
that's cool. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you for joining me here. You can stay. I will just disable the sound on the Discord, and then I think there will be another activity involving joining, but I will post the link again. So thank you for sharing your thoughts about this one.
Okay, sure.
Cool. All right, so let's continue with choosing a team. So we were talking about a lot of things, so let's just go back to here. Best practices, playing the trial matches, waiting for responses. So you got your responses, you played your trial matches, you had some kind of experience with different things regarding the teams, and then you need to choose a team and make a list of pros and cons and decide which team you did like the most. And you can have things about people, whether you liked their attitude, whether you liked their I don't know, their game style and how they communicated with you. You can and you should measure the availability of the whole team. So you should see if everyone can make it in the same time, if you have enough time to practice, and if that is something that is fitting for you. If it is in line with your goals, then it is an important thing to. It can set apart a team if they are more available. You may judge them by skill rating. You should see if the team is more skilled or less skilled than you. You should make sure that you are comfortable playing, and you should judge their mindset as well, because if you are playing for fun, you should make sure that you are having a good atmosphere to play for fun, and that is not playing to win games, but to actually enjoy the picks that you play, to actually try different things that you can try. And I am muting the Discord to not to have these beeps. Okay, apart from that, sometimes you can get benefits as well. Like if you are into tier 3 or tier 2 because you have a lot of comp experience and you really want to be competitive and to attend tourneys and stuff like that, you can also sometimes find teams who are providing you with different benefits like subscriptions and sometimes hardware, or they pay for your travels if you need to go to an event with the team and stuff like that. That can be really good. And other opportunities. So you should list these pros and cons, and you shouldn't make your decisions hastily. And I cannot emphasize this enough, that after playing a trial, make sure that you let that stay for like one or 2 days, and you play other trials as well. Make sure that you decide well in these cases. All right, any questions about this part? Make sure to put it in the chat and I will continue with the music. Interviewing players applying to join your team. Yeah, we can talk about that as well. So, when you are the one making a team, and I didn't list it here because I planned the workshop to be about joining a team, but when you are playing in a team and when you have already an established roster, then when you're looking for a player, you are usually filling a role that is not filled yet. And you should be able to decide if you want to, a specific hero player, like you want a tracer player, or you want a flanker, or you want somebody to play a character class. Apart from that, the things that we went over in the CV, those are the most important things when you are looking for a player. So from my experience, I can say that one of the most important things is how the player acts with the team. You should be the first to judge their mindset, and you should be I think that's the first priority, because when you are working together as a 6, communication can go really off track if you don't pay attention, and it can get really hard to work together. People are usually happy about joining a team and playing together in the beginning, but as you play more and more, as you spend time together more and more, some of these little glitches in communication will show and make it hard for you to stay together. So I think that is the most important. Apart from that, judge their skill, judge their availability, and that is what you should see in a player, and that is what you should check, in my opinion. All right, let's continue playing in the team. So you decided to join a team and you want to play with them. Now what? So you play the trials. The trials included 1 or 2 games and some communication. But after that, after joining a team, what are the first steps? And these can apply to you as a person, or these can apply to a team who is trying to get together. So this should apply generally. The foundations, getting to know each other, who does what, who takes which role. And this is, as I mentioned before, this is really important to get to know each other a little bit more. You don't necessarily need to be friends, because I have been in teams where we were about winning and we weren't about making friends. But usually these are going together, and it is beneficial for you to be friends with the ones who you spend a lot of time with, to have the same interests maybe, or to be able to talk about not only the game. But as I said, it is not necessary. In some cases, you're just really there for the win. You are getting together with the national best, and you are trying to win an international competition just for the sake of winning. But usually when you are planning for the long term, you should make sure that you are enjoying the time that you spend with the others in the team. You should make sure to figure out who does what. So when you are, let's say that after this one, you go there and you say, okay, I don't want to join a team, but I want to establish one. The first thing that you should figure out is who does what, who plays which role, because if you swap a lot, players can get really good in their roles. But of course, if you are playing for fun, then do whatever makes it fun. But when you are playing for the wins, you should stick to the same role, to the same character, and make sure that you improve with that one, and make sure to figure out who is the shot caller, usually given to the one who is the most active in communication and who can take the role of the shot caller easily. Sometimes it is hard because sometimes players can get together in a way that no one is able to do the shot calling. Then you can just try to give it to one person in one match and to another person in another match and see who is doing that well. Usually the knowledge needed is only the target priorities in the given team, so there is some game sense involved that. And also you should distinguish an in-game leader who is going to lead the team and who is going to call different things. You should be able to figure out who is the most fitting for this one. You should, as the first step, also establish a schedule and see which times are the best for you to play together, and then start playing scrims and ranked games together. So when you are playing ranked games, it is easy. You just get into the game, form a group, and go into the comp as a 6-stack. But when you are playing scrims, usually I recommend to use the discords of the same discords what I just posted when we talked about looking for a team. There are scrim channels, they are called scrim or scrims, where you can post your ad and state your current rank or average rank of the team and look for an opponent. So if you are playing in EU, then you say that I'm looking for a match around 3k EU right now, and someone will message you and you create a custom game, invite each other, and there might be observers who are watching the game or recording it to analyze it later. Let them do that, because it can be a really important part of improving as a team, and it can be later important for you as well. And then just play a map or several maps. It's really dependent on how many you want to do. As I mentioned earlier, if you still you should make sure that you still feel that the team was a good choice. If it is not, then you can quit, and you should quit as early as necessary. You shouldn't stick in a situation where you don't feel good. So that's just it. Improvement in a team, because as I said, it is really different from playing the solo queue. Because in a team, you are creating strategies for maps and comps. You are practicing team formations. This is an actual exercise to load up a map and go into places together and see how from one point how you can get to the other without losing. anybody and things like that, movements and combinations and stuff like that. You can as a team analyze games together. That is, if you are for improvement and if you are for competition, you can have your games recorded and try to spot mistakes in that. And you can also get together and watch pro games and learn from them. This is a thing that a lot of teams do, and I can really recommend it. Just because pro players have a lot of time to figure out what is good in the game currently. And if you are able to replicate what they do, you can benefit from it. You need to, of course, it won't be as seamless as the execution, but if you are able to understand why they make certain decisions as a team, it can be really beneficial. And on the personal level, and I think this is really interesting, that when you are playing in a team in Overwatch, it is a really different experience in regards to your personal improvement. Just because practicing your main in a demanding setting, when there are no throwers, you can be sure of that, there are no AFKs, no disconnects and stuff like that. This is a really different setting than the randomness of soloQ, and this is how you can improve your game from one level to the next in a shorter amount of time, just because it's more demanding. And you can also practice off-meta characters, like if you agree with a team that you are trying to get to play a 2-sniper comp, then you can do that, and no one will whine for it, and you can actually see if it works, and you can refine your strategies. But the most important part of that on your personal level is that you can really experience these off-meta characters without feeling bad about it, without feeling that you are throwing. And you will have experience in heavy emphasis on team play in Overwatch that is actually not present until the really top levels of competitive gaming in soloQ. That you need to work together, you need to pay attention to the in-game leader, you need to pay attention to the shot caller, you need to communicate well, you need to learn how not to say too much, how not to pollute the communication channels of the team, and stuff like that. Alright, activity time again. Let's create the foundations of an improvement log. And we had a video about this as well, but now I think that it is important to have a log for improvement. So open a text document or do it on paper. Now I don't have a template for you, but this is basically these columns: improvement goal, baseline, KPI, deadline, and follow-up. And think about what you want to improve and how you want to improve, and some ideas of mine. That improvement goal, I can actually show this to you using a document link. Then have this set up. Give me a sec. You can ask your questions if you want to while I'm doing that. Yeah, this should be going here. I am setting the view for you on the docs. Yep. So I'm going to use this. So improvement goal. And let's create a table. Right here with a lot of rows. Okay, improvement goal. Baseline. You can do this while I am doing this. KPI. Deadline. And follow up. So I will show you some examples. And KPI, yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, improvement goal is what you want to achieve. So for me, let's say that I want to, as I said that I am playing McCree, I want to achieve 50% plus headshot rate. Okay, that is too much. Like, okay, 15% plus headshot rate. That should be okay. And baseline is what I have right now. So I think I have like 9% headshot rate. And the KPI is the key performance indicator. That is easy in this one. Amount of critical hits in a full game. And this should be as concrete as it can be, because this is how you will measure your actual performance. And deadline is going to be February, the end of February for me, and follow-up should be sticking around 10%, 12 to 10%. So this is just one row of my improvement log, and you can actually have non-game related things here as well. So let's talk about that one. For example, I don't really sleep well, so sleeping more. And the baseline is that I am sleeping 6 hours per day right now. The KPI is hours slept per day, and I should be able to do this at the end of February. That's okay. And the follow-up is measuring my soloQ performance after it. So yeah, sleeping, a real hassle for me. And this can be like this. This can be about your physical activity. This can be about being on time when your schedule starts, or anything else, basically. And having an improvement log is important, because this way you can look back and see what your plans were in that time range. And this can and this is here because I believe that in a team setting you can do a lot of improvement, and if you have a log like this, it will be easier for you to actually pay attention to what you need to improve. And this can be, again, communication related, team related, your personal goals and stuff, anything that is regarding the team or regarding the game. So I'm really interested in some improvement goals of yours. So if you just post the improvement goal part in chat, then we can talk about those for a few minutes. And as I said, this can be physical activity. The baseline there should be like, how many push-ups can I do right now? And the KPI should be push-ups done. It's just describing what you want to do with this line. And have a good deadline. It is really important, because if you set it for too long, you might not get hyped about your goal, and you might forget about what you wanted to do. If you are making it too short, it might be too demanding, and you don't want to be in a situation where you are overstressing yourself because you set yourself an unrealistic goal. So try to figure out a good time to achieve these goals. And the follow-up is important as well, because this will allow you to see if you kept the same level. So let's say that, okay, I wanted to make sure that my headshot rate is 15 plus, but after 2 months it goes back to 9%, and I can see that, okay, I did not really pay attention to it, and maybe this follow-up is not the best. Keep practicing every second day before sessions, may be better, because this will make sure that I improved and I am keeping improving. Practicing. Okay. KPI is key performance indicator, so this is describing what you want to do. Yeah. So any improvement goals? Post them in the chat if you have any ideas, and we can discuss it, making sure that they are well phrased. Okay, looking at the chat, dealing with inconsistency. One of the things about inconsistency and how you can improve that, from my experience, is related to physical well-being. And a lot of times, if you don't eat well, if you don't drink enough, if you don't sleep well, if you don't have a good physical performance, you can be really inconsistent in your games. So in order to improve that, I would say the improvement goal would be to get into a better shape. The baseline should be judging your, I don't know, your energy levels, maybe. How alive do you feel when you get home and start playing? The KPI should be making sure that you are getting more healthy, more active, anything like that. Deadline for these physical things can be over 1 month, or if you can split them up to smaller sections like sleep and eating and stuff like that, these can be 1 or 2 weeks. And the follow-up should be keeping with that performance, with that energy level, with that lifestyle. Okay, we are getting some improvement tips here, or goals. Stopping tilting. Okay, that is another interesting. How not to tilt or tilt less. These are the same. So tilting is actually a really hard topic because it is dependent on you, and you should figure out what tilts you. From my experience, and I believe that by telling you how I deal with it, you might be able to figure it out for yourself. But from my experience, that I find that I am tilting because I don't have control over what I'm doing. So if there's a thrower or a troll in the game, I lose the control. And in these situations, I give up trying to win the game and actually start to pay more attention to my improvement goals. Like, I am playing McCree, there's a thrower jumping down the cliff and just dying, and then I switch in my mind that, okay, I don't want to win this, I want to make sure that I use this time that I would otherwise just throw out into the trash to actually improve. And then I start only headshotting with McCree, or doing 180 flicks with Tracer, or one-shot burst combos with Genji, or I don't know, shield dancing with Orisa, things like this. Alright, reading the comments. How not to tilt, yes. Getting the knowledge of ins, outs, health pack sites, and high ground spots of every single map. Yes, that can be a good improvement goal. If you are not that familiar with the game, you can set up a custom game and just run around the map. I usually recommend doing this by having a good plan to how to traverse the map. Like, in your mind, make up a map and try to see if the map was correct when you get to the place, and check it when you get there. Better combination of school and gaming. Yeah, that is more like how you manage your time. About the log, what if we do everything but we are not capable of improving in that specific case because of our playstyle or whatever? That's a good question. If you are not capable of reaching your goals may be unrealistic. If you are not able to reach really small goals, you might need help in that aspect of the game. If you do, our Discord is welcoming, so if you have questions about anything like that, you can join the Discord. Alright, thank you for your input, and we are going to continue with the next one, as we are trying to finish it in time. What to expect when you are playing in a team. So let's just go back what we talked about here. Playing in a team, first steps, improvement in a team, this activity log, and what to expect in a team. And this is really important because I think that playing in a team is awesome. And however, as you are working with other people online, it can get hard because of the communication aspect, because of there are other people who think differently, who prioritize different things in their life. So somebody may not arrive on schedule. What do you do with that? You might feel that he's wasting your time and stuff like this. So prepare to have interpersonal conflicts. And I can't emphasize this enough, but this will happen. If you spend time together, these conflicts will rise. But instead of throwing the team out of the window, instead of quitting, you should try to resolve them, because every little conflict will make the team stronger. So if you can resolve a communication issue, if you can resolve a schedule issue, your team is going to be stronger. And if you leave the team and plan to go the easier route and try to find another one, there will be other conflicts. So people working together online, not seeing each other, it can get hard. Prepare to be flexible with how your team works. Students, for example, will have a hard time keeping on schedule during exams, and there might be other things. So if you are really competitive, make sure that you don't get too hard on your teammates if they are not performing well. Of course, if the team is together to actually win competitions and you are going really hardcore with this, you should expect to give everything, but make sure that you are flexible. And if it all goes wrong, you can quit. Keep this in mind, and this is important. Don't stay in a team where you don't feel well. All right. Let's go to the next one. And I think we are nearing the end, so it was a little bit shorter because it is now question time. So we talked about competitive teams and getting into competitive gaming, and I wish that you really fill the CV and you create your ad, and after the session you go to the Discord channels that we are going to post in the description and in the Discord as well, and post your ads there. Or if you want to make a team, then you can use the Discord that I created and that I will post a link. Or well, you can join the Overwatchdojo Discord because there are more people there. So you can actually find more to play with. Let's see. Creating the instant invite, posting the link in the chat. So you are free to join the Overwatchdojo Discord. We have these LFG channels, looking for team, looking for group. And you can post your ads there. I really wish to see a lot of gamer CVs. I really wish to see a lot of ads there. And I wish for you to find a good team. And yeah, there will be other Discords. There are websites where you can look for a team. But if you want to try it out, you can create your own. It is just a little bit harder because if you don't have experience with how to manage a team, that experience will come harder. The conflicts can be a lot harder if you are making a team as your first experience, but this can be resolved, and if you want challenge, you can do that. Any questions, really? Looking for them in the chat, looking for them in the Discord. Not seeing anything. By definition, is it bad to start up a team with little to no experience? I would say no. By definition, it is not bad. It is just easier if you join an already established team because you won't have to reinvent the wheel like that. But if you are really interested, and if there are more and more people interested in that, as I can see, we will make sure to compile something together that should give you a good wireframe when you are creating a team for you. I have already begun to do something like this when I was playing in a team, just to make sure that we document how we work. So yeah, by definition it is not bad, it is just harder, I think. Okay, more and more questions. When you are really good, is streaming a great way to get noticed by pro teams? Getting into pro teams are actually not about skill. Getting into pro teams are about networking. And if you are getting your name out there, if you are streaming and participating in events and actually talking to people on Discords and maybe joining as a sub or stuff like that, you can have a better chance of getting into pro teams. So it is really about networking, and it is not that much about skill. Of course, you need to be in the top, but what sets you apart is to get your name out there. So streaming can be a good thing to do when you want to do that. what are some good sites, places to find Plat to Dynamite tournaments? I think that I said that I will post the links for some of these websites, but Battlefly.com is one of the biggest sites, or you can also check the Reddit discords. There are tournaments there as well, and some of the tournaments and events on Battlefly for Overwatch are actually skill capped, so no higher than Diamond, I think. So you can actually have some good matches there. I will post the link in the chat if I can find it quickly. Not to leave you hanging. Battlefly. Yeah, this is the one. Posting it in the chat. Can you show us an example? Can you show us an example of an LFG ad? Yes. Okay. Going back to this one. Creating an LFG ad. So this is the short, too long didn't read version. Looking for group AU, you can include your main role and skill level there. This is basically the gamer CV compiled together in a short message, and you can include the link as well for a longer version, and this should show that you are prepared for being part of a team and you know what you are talking about. How do you find a coach for a team? Finding a coach can be for free if there are some Discord groups where you can go, and there are people who say that they are coaching for free, and you can get coach. You can get coaching by them. You don't really have a good knowledge about their skills and stuff like that. But if you are looking for some high-level coaches, you can find them. They are usually paid. We, for example, in the dojo have experience in team coaching. I personally coached the team of the University of Montreal and some other teams, but those guys were one of my favorites who I worked with, and we can work on getting into competitions and stuff like that. But if you want to find a free alternative, there are Discord groups like Wawa's Bootcamp, I think that's how you should pronounce it, and Overwatch University, where you can look for coaches. Does your experience on the game differ when you translated and transfer from console to PC? Usually yes. Console is a lot different because if you are playing competitively, that is, if you want to participate in tournaments and stuff like that, there are a lot more tournaments on PC. How do you find a coach for a team? Yes, we had that. When making a team, do your teammates have to be at the same rank? Well, you have to be at the same rank if you are playing for ranked. If you are scrimming, it is not necessary. I had experience playing with some players who were below, like I was Grandmaster at that time, and they were like flat, and they played really well. They played support, and they did that really well. They just didn't have time to put in to actually rise in the solo queue. So that is not a requirement. Okay, if half of your team is too flexible, plays all tanks, and other half is not flexible enough, one tricks Reaper, what is the best way to fix this? As I said, I believe in fixing the roles for the players. Like, you shouldn't flex all the time, because the team can improve more if you fix the roles of what you are playing. So have the flex players choose a role and have them stay to that. And one tricking can be hard because, for example, Reaper can be really unuseful in some situations. So those players should be a little bit more flexible with the picks. They should see that the one tricking is not the best way to play in a team. What if your CPU sucks and you can't stream? Well, you can make articles, videos. There are a lot of analysts there who are not having a good rank. because they can't really put the time into that, or they are more interested in analyzing the game actually, and they got a name for themselves by having good articles or good write-ups on different events, on OVL matches, or making videos like we do. Okay. I am currently the owner captain of a team that mostly consists of friends. I think there are certain things that they should change, like their attitude. Is it okay for me to demand that of them? That is really dependent on how your team was formed. If you are the sole leader of the team, then you can demand it, I think. But I believe in democracy in these team settings, so there should be someone appointed to lead the team, but usually these decisions should be done together. And this is a thing that if you can't agree on, changing the attitude and arriving on time and stuff like that, it might be the best to just split or look for some others, because sometimes players want to have their fun and they are not really taking a lot of effort to practice and to be on time and stuff like that. And if that is annoying to you, first of all, you can state it, and if they don't want to change it, it may be because they just want to keep it fun. It may be the best for you if you look for other players. Okay, do you think soloQ is going to see Overwatch? Personally, I think it's just going to ruin Grandmaster games like hell. soloQ. soloQ, okay. I know about that. I think it worked for League of Legends, so it might be good. Characters to avoid with 80+ ping. Usually characters that you want to avoid high ping with are the ones who you need quick reactions with. So like McCree with the flicks, Hanzo, Widowmaker, maybe Tracer, Genji for certain, but some characters you can get away with, like Hanzo, maybe, not really sure about that, but you can get away with a Pharah. I usually play tanks on NA when I am playing from the EU with 150 ping, because tanks can be played with high ping. I am currently climbing steadily in Diamond and planning to LFT once I hit Masters. Do you suggest I join a team now or wait? I suggest that if you are here, if you took the time to be here, join a team. Really, it is really beneficial regarding your personal improvement. So if you considered for 1 second that you should join a team, do it now. At least try it. It may be not for you, and then you don't have to think about it. It is really not tied to ranks. Alright. Any other questions? Okay, someone is saying that with 110 ping, Tracer Soldier McCree player, mostly playing in Grandmaster, and you don't have to avoid anything. Yeah, you can get used to it. I think that most of the pro players are able to play at their skill on Korean servers, so if you put in the time, you can do that. Alright. Yes, the stream will be available as a VOD, and you will be able to see it. I hope so. I really hope that it is recorded on YouTube. Alright. Well, guys, thank you for your attention. This presentation was made on Prezi. The icons are from Icon Monster. Graphics are by our early graphic designer, Ambrosch Christian. And a big thank you for all our Patreon supporters who made it possible to host these workshops and to do them. I really enjoyed being here with you. I was really amazed by the amount of interest for this workshop. So I can tell you that we are going to do another one in the next month. I will figure out the topic. The video will be available. I will ask you to join our Discord, and I'm posting a link for it in the chat right now. So you can join us, and there are weekly challenges for fun, monthly challenges for improvement, and I think there is a good community there who is really about to help anyone in need. And I hope that you learned a lot from this, or at least a little. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation. This was my first time, and I am really eager to hear your feedback about it. Actually, I am going to post a link to a form that I would be really thankful if you filled out, because it will tell me if I did this well or did not, and you can include your comments. I just posted the link in the chat, and we'll also post it in the video. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any other questions, join the Discord, and you can broke a link. Okay, that's bad. Give me a sec. It works for me. Link no work. Okay. How about now? No. Okay, the shortener messed it up for me. Give me a sec. I am going to try to resolve this quickly. How about this one? Okay. Alright, that's bad. Technology again. Alright, give me 1 minute to fix this, because I can do it quickly, I suppose. Yeah, again, join our Discord, and if you are interested in coaching, this is what we use to keep the channel going and to keep the workshops and challenges and things like this going. I am one of the coaches, the other coach is Leppy. You can join us on Patreon if you check the site, and you can get coached by us. On the Discord we have a lot of feedbacks, so this should give you an idea about our skill set and if you want to join us or not. Feedback, trying to post it in just a sec. Sorry about this. Didn't know that the URL gets shortened like this. Okay. Yep. Should be good. So make sure to leave me feedback, because I'm really interested in how I can make this better. And again, thank you for your attention and have a good one. And I want to see your applications on LFG channels in the next few days. And really, if you have any questions, make sure to message me. Bye bye.